So lately, the Lord's been speaking to me about the occult, okay? And the nature of the occult. The word occult actually means hidden, okay? Much of the occult infrastructure, okay, is built on what's called hidden knowledge. It even goes back to Gnosticism, one of the most ancient and powerful heresies that is identified in the New Testament, even by John. Much of John's epistles, okay, even his gospel, you can find things in there that specifically target the heresy of Gnosticism, okay? But one of the principles there, and this is a chief principle in the occult even to this day, is they operate on hidden knowledge, okay? And if you've ever seen the back of the dollar bill and you see the pyramid, okay? And you see that the capstone of the pyramid, it's got the eye and it's flashing and there's luminous light coming from it. Okay, that's what this represents. Okay, it represents that when you enter into an occultic spirit structure, it offers you hidden knowledge, and whereby hidden knowledge, okay, they call it enlightenment, right? You can ascend, okay, until finally you ascend into enlightenment, and that's the eye. Okay, but what some people don't understand is that Lucifer's name means the light bearer in Hebrew, okay? So you're not actually being enlightened, okay? You're actually going deeper and deeper into the occult. You're going deeper and deeper into death and bondage and deception, okay? So, this was found in the Garden of Eden. This is what Lucifer offered. Satan offered to Eve and to Adam. He said, you don't have enough knowledge, okay? There's something in your life that you need, that you're lacking, okay? And it's going to come from that tree. It's going to come from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Then you'll be like God, right? So that same ancient heresy and deception is still operating, full function, full tilt in the world, worldly systems, the occult, in false religions, okay, in apostate Christianity, and it's even infiltrated the charismatic church. And this is what I want to talk about. This occultic spirit's in the charismatic church, okay? And the way it operates, the way I see it, is there is hidden knowledge, okay? There's hidden information, hidden revelation that the leaders of these movements, okay, are not open about, all right? And let's take the NAR, the New Apostolic Reformation, okay? And if you don't know what that is, look it up and you'll understand what I'm saying. I have a testimony, a story from a friend of mine who was with one of the major leaders of NAR. And he was having a dinner or a lunch with them, and he was sitting down, and he began to ask this leader, what do you think about the end times? What do you think about this, and what do you think about that in the book of Revelation? And this leader, okay, took out his smartphone, okay, and poked around for a moment on something, and then just leaned over, showed him a picture, the cover of a book, and he said, just read this, okay, and you'll understand the truth about that stuff. So this friend of mine, okay, went home, ordered the book off of Amazon. It got in the mail. He read it, and he was blown away, okay? Blown away by this book and the content that was in this book. It turned out that this leader doesn't even believe we're living in the last days. He believed that the last days referred to the Mosaic Covenant era, okay, the end of the Mosaic, what they call the Mosaic Covenant era, which they believe ended at 70 AD. Okay, my friend found out that this leader doesn't even believe that there's a coming Antichrist. This leader found out that my friend found out that this leader believes that we're actually in the millennium right now. That the millennium is not literal, that it's just an allegory of the kingdom state, and they believe that kingdom state began with Jesus' first coming, and it's just going to grow until basically, the world is Christianized and taken over by Christians. So, you can believe what you want, okay? But the point of this video that I'm trying to make is this is hidden knowledge. This is hidden revelation that leaders of the NAR are not open about. They're not frank about. They're not honest and upfront about. And I believe that is wrong, okay? I believe that if you're a pastor of a church and your congregation doesn't know what you believe about the last days, doesn't know what you believe about the book of Revelation, doesn't know what you believe about key doctrinal, even eschatological issues and questions, I believe that is wrong. I believe there's an occultic spirit, okay, that's come into the charismatic church. And in fact, you've got to find out the hidden revelation, the hidden knowledge. You've got to find out behind the scenes, what do the leaders really believe? And if you don't, you cannot ascend the temple, okay? You cannot ascend the pyramid, right? And you find people in this movement, leaders, being blackballed from the movement. And they're like, what did I do? What did I say? And then come to find out, they're like, wow, I just preached a whole message on Matthew 24 and about how it's talking about what's, things that are happening today and what's coming on the earth. And all these leaders around me believe that most of Matthew 24 was fulfilled by 70 AD. Oh, it all makes sense now why they don't have me in anymore. It all makes sense. You see? So anyways, in closing here, you can believe what you want to believe. This is America, where I'm at right now. And you have the right to believe whatever you want to believe. But I think it's morally wrong for you to believe things, and for even the movement that you're in to shift doctrinally in major ways and not let the people that are associated with you know. And I'm going to leave it with this. I talked to a pastor a few weeks ago in Houston, and he said, oh yeah, I was seeing some of these things pop up in the NAR. Some of these things pop up years ago in the New Apostolic Reformation. And I began to address them. I began to, call out some of these things. I began to meet with leaders about them. And this pastor told me, I even met with the main apostles of the movement. And this main apostle charged me. He said, yeah, go ahead. I want you to write a book on that. Okay, I want you to write a book about some of this clear, truth and doctrine and beliefs that we share about the last days that's very, very clear from Scripture. But, whenever you write this book, this is what this apostle told my friend, this pastor. He said, whenever you write this book, we need to get it approved, okay? And we need to get it looked through. And I want you to send it, okay, to someone who's a part of the Revival Alliance. Okay, that's what they called it at that time. I don't even know if it exists now. The Revival Alliance, right? And this pastor was shocked because he couldn't understand why he would send it to the Revival Alliance, because in his understanding, the Revival Alliance was a whole separate movement, was a whole separate structure and leadership structure. And then this pastor was just informed out of nowhere, oh no, we've put our whole apostolic network under the Revival Alliance. This apostle had put the whole network of churches and pastors under a whole other movement, under a whole other leadership team, and never even told the pastors. Okay? And then they were shifting major doctrinal, issues, and didn't bother to let anybody know. Okay? I'm telling you right now, saints, there is an occultic spirit at work in the charismatic church. Okay? And concerning issues that, maybe a little mucky, maybe a little, controversial, they just hide their beliefs on those issues, and they've made everything so vanilla. Everything's just love Jesus, tell other people about the love of Jesus, tell them that they're awesome, win souls for Jesus, and let's just worship a bunch. I mean, that's become the whole movement, right? That's become the face of the whole movement, is we're wise, we're powerful, we're wealthy, we worship a bunch, and we love people in Jesus. It's like, I'm sorry, Christianity was never meant to be an inch deep, doctrinally. This is dangerous, saints. This is really dangerous. And if you don't have the courage to tell your people what you actually believe about the Scriptures, then my God, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. How are you even a leader in the Church of Jesus Christ? So, anyways, let's break free from the occultic spirit. Let's bring what's hidden out into the light and let people make up their minds for themselves, okay? But don't let it be a rude awakening to someone after they're aligned with you for 10 years, that they find out that fundamentally on major issues that they believe in, that you're in complete disagreement on, and you've let them, keep going and keep funneling their tithes and offerings into your church and into your movement, and you were never honest with them about what your movement really stands for. That's wrong. Let's not do that anymore. Let's be open and honest. Let's preach the truth. And of course, as we learn, as we grow, as we humble ourselves, as God shows us new things, you can shift on things, absolutely, but just be open and honest about it and tell people about it. God bless you.